Hi there, my name is Nick Klosky, co-founder of Honeypoint 3D. We here at Honeypoint 3D have taught over 7,000 students about 3D printing and 3D design, and I'm excited to kick off this 3D printing learning series with a timely and useful tutorial that will literally save you. Save you from what, you might ask? Well, here in the US, Mother's Day is coming up in the beginning of May, and people are always looking for unique and personalized gifts they can send to their moms. Even if you live in a country that doesn't celebrate Mother's Day in the upcoming weeks, isn't it a good idea to tell the people in your life that you love them anyway? Well, this tutorial is for you. All told, this video, including the time I'm talking to you now, will only take up around 10 minutes of your time, and you'll simultaneously learn a new 3D printing skill and create something unique for a loved one. It's faster than going out to a store and buying a gift, and since you're interested in 3D printing anyway, everyone wins. So, my gift to you, whether you're a mother or not, is this tutorial using all free software. Enjoy. We'll be using a piece of software in this called Meshmixer. So, go to meshmixer.com and scroll down here and click on download. This is free software from Autodesk that we'll be using. Once you install Meshmixer and bring it up, it brings you up this menu. So we're going to start with a plane. So click on Import Plane here. You get a plane. Now to navigate around, you hold down your right mouse button. It allows you to kind of flip around. Hold down your middle mouse button, allows you to move left and right. Your mouse wheel zooms in and out, and your left mouse button clicks on things. We're going to be creating a heart for Mother's Day. So click here on Select in the top left, and what we want to do is draw a heart on this plane. So I'm going to draw a heart like this. Now you want to make sure that your heart does not touch the sides of the plane here. If it does touch the side like this, you can hold down the Control key on Windows or the Command key on Mac, and then just click and drag and kind of erase the part that touches the edge. Now you also want to fill in your heart, so just kind of drag around up here. And don't worry if it's jagged around the edges, we're going to fix that later. So you want to end up with something like this, and again you can hit the Control key and kind of, draw down more if you want it a little bit more angled in the center. And now we're going to go up to Edit up here to Extrude, or you can also hit the D is in Extrude key. And you see it pops up a little bit. We want to drag this slider all the way up to the right, extrude it as far as possible. Great. And now click Accept, and down here, Clear Selection. So we just get rid of everything that we've done. Now we have what's called a non-manifold model. This is a hole down here, so we're going to fix that in this next step. On the left-hand side, click on the Edit button right here, and then we go to Plane Cut. It's the sixth one down, so we went to Edit to Plane Cut. And we see a cutting plane that pops up. You can just accept what they give you here or drag down on this blue arrow to make it a little bit more thick. You see where it's going to be cutting. And just select something that you think looks right and click Accept. Now as we rotate around, you see we have a full object. And these colors are just for informational purposes only. They don't have anything to do with the final 3D print. So remember, the edges are a little bit jagged, so we are going to smooth these out. So now we're going to click on the Sculpt tool here on the left. Click on Sculpt and go to Brushes right here, and then go down to Robust Smooth. So Sculpt to Brushes, down to the bottom brush right here, which is called Robust Smooth. Now turn the strength down to something in the middle, something around 50. And the size here, you can see the size of this brush. If you want to make your brush a little bit bigger, you can. But I'm just going to click and drag on the edge of this heart. Pretty neat. And now I'm going to go and rotate around and click and drag on the bottom part of this heart to smooth out the bottom as well. And I can go in and make this a little bit nicer by rotating around and kind of smoothing around all of the areas that are still a little bit jagged, which I'm going to do now. and I've smoothed down this heart into something that's a little bit nicer. Great, this is 3D printable right now. But if you want to create a little bit more interest on this, we can repeat what we just did. So if we click on Select again, we can draw another pattern on top. Now in this case, I want a little bit more control, so I'm going to turn my brush size down and do something like this. I'm going to draw the letter I. And when you draw this, you want to make sure that all of your triangles are connecting. So it does not connect right here. I just want to fill that in, so there's at least a little bit connecting. I want to make it a little bit thick because we're going to smooth this out later. So there we go. I drew a kind of an eye. I want to go back up to Edit to Extrude again. So we're doing the same thing as we did before, and extrude this up. So now we have a rough letter I, which I'm going to smooth out later. I'm going to click on Clear Selection down here. Great. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back into Select. I'm going to draw a heart on top. And remember, it needs to connect in all of the places, like that. And for this, I'm going to fill it in. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time and fill in all of these triangles right here. And then go back up to Edit to Extrude, and extrude that one, like that. And then Clear Selection. And then the last time, I'm going to go in again and draw the letter U. So I love you. You could say, I love you, Mom, or whatever you can fit inside of the heart that you created. And again, go back up to Edit to Extrude, and extrude that one out. And then Clear Selection. So we have this. This is 3D printable, but it's a little bit jagged. So again, we're going to go back into Sculpt, to Brushes, to Robust Smooth. And this time I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger and just kind of click on this. And I'm getting the whole letter all at one time and kind of smoothing that into the main heart. And once I get it kind of where I like it, that looks pretty nice. We can now 3D print this. So at the bottom of this list, there is a Print button. If you click on that, it'll bring up a sample printer that you might have at home, but you can also change up here. Type A series is what's selected for me right now. You can change this to 3D Hubs, Shapeways, Sculpteo, iMaterialize. These are online 3D printing services. So I'm going to select Sculpteo. And you see it's super duper small for what Sculpteo can print, but it says updating price. So right now this heart is about $6. And if we click on Transform right here, we see that this heart is 21 millimeters by 7 millimeters by about 20 millimeters. So not that big. If we want to make this a little bit bigger, maybe 35 millimeters wide, we could just click 35, all of the other numbers update, and we click Done, and now it says updating price again. In a minute or so, it will come back with the updated price. So it went up to $8. If I hover my mouse right over that heart and kind of zoom in, I have to keep my mouse over it, you can see that this is what it would look like. So I want it to be maybe a little bit bigger, so let me move it to maybe 50 millimeters and click Done. Again, the price will be updated. This is printing in white plastic right now. Probably I don't want white unless I want to paint this myself. So I'm going to go down here. I can see that white plastic is selected. I can choose red plastic, or Sculpteo also does some polishing. So let's see what polished red plastic is. It's a little bit smaller build area. And it's about $34. So this might be a little bit too much for you. You can always go back and transform this and make it a little bit smaller, or you could go back and use that plane cut feature to cut off more of the bottom if you wanted to make it smaller or more shallow. But when you're done, you click on Review Cart and Order. It brings up a shopping cart right here, and you click on Order, and you are taken to Sculpteo's website to pay for it and put in your shipping address, and then this heart will come to you in the mail about a week later. So there is your gift, and there is what you would need to create a beautiful little present for a loved one. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope the lucky recipient enjoys their gift. You have now joined the 3D printing movement. Congrats! Meshmixer has over 80 tools that are fun and professionally useful for any age to learn. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, I created a full Meshmixer class. It's over 16 hours of online training, and you really get to know the program. Visit our website at www.honeypoint3d.com and view our other free tutorials and paid classes. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.